In this video, I'm going to review and demonstrate the new Hasal Cam glass scoring unit. So let's get into the video. This is the Hasal Cam glass scoring unit. Now this unit was supplied to me by a company called Mosaic Mildura, and I'll put their Facebook page at the bottom of the screen there in case you'd like to go there and purchase one. Now at the time of filming, the website was still under construction, so I'd think it was going to take another couple of months before that's going to be ready. Now once you take this unit out of the box, it's pretty well good to go. You don't have to do any assembling. The only thing you will need to do is have a look at these set of instructions which really go over the features of this particular unit. But it is advisable to have a look through this first so you know what this unit can do. Now another thing you will receive is this Allen key, and it's always good to put this in a safe place because you may need to use this further down the track. Now what we're going to do is have a look at some of the features that this unit offers, and then what we'll do is we'll go in and do some test cutting with a couple of pieces of stained glass. This is a scoring arm and this is scoring wheel, and I have this flipped over so that I can show you the scoring wheel, but if you're going to be scoring stained glass, then you would have that flipped over this way, and then you'd be able to use that to score the stained glass. And this is the actual carriageway, and this slides along it beautifully, absolutely effortlessly. This is the breaker button. Now this is used to actually break your glass after you have scored it. Now you don't have to use this, however it is there if you want to use it. Now when you're scoring your stained glass, it's in the lowered position, and that's the position it's in now. But when you're wanting to break your stained glass, then this little lever here, you turn that and it raises it, and then you can then just push on it, on the stained glass, and that will then break it for you. Now this is really handy if you're going to be breaking larger strips. But when it comes to really narrow strips of glass, then you may want to use your normal breaker pliers. Now on the scoring arm is a screw, and this is where the oil goes. So we just undo that screw, and then we put the oil in there. And then we just put the screw back in and do it back up. And again, we're not over tightening it, we're just doing a little bit of a nip and it's done. Now this Hasal Cam unit comes with a calibrated precision scale ruler, and that's in millimeters as well as centimeters. Now if you're in the US, I'm sure this will come in inches and also increments of those inches as well. Now when you're using this unit and you're using this slider control, don't over tighten them at all. Just nip it. There's no reason to get that and tighten them right down, and you may end up and do damage to your unit. So just get there, undo it, and just nip it. Easy as. And of course this also comes with a guide as well if you're wanting to actually use this for scoring and breaking angles. Now I've only got this unit for a short period of time because it does need to go back to Mosaic Mildura. I'm not actually keeping this unit, so I won't get there and be able to demonstrate this, but I might be able to do that a bit further down the track, but it is there if you want to use that. Now Mosaic Mildura brings in two sizes of these units. They bring in a small and a medium. Now this is a small size, and this size is 420 by 370 millimeters, and that's the overall size. Now on the small size, the actual scoring area is 295 millimeters by 420 millimeters. I consider this size to be a really, really good size because I could have this on my workbench and be scoring and breaking stained glass strips while I'm working on my mosaic next door. So I find this is a really good size. If you're going to be cutting large pieces of stained glass, then you may want to consider the next size up, which is the medium size. But of course, the larger you go, the more room it's going to take up on your bench, and of course if you're going to be storing it away, that's going to take up a bit more room as well. So I consider this size to be really, really good because I find when I've bought big sheets of stained glass, I just roughly cut them down so that they fit into more manageable sizes, and of course that means that they'd fit into this then as well by cutting it down. Now there's two versions of this unit sold here in Australia. One is for left-handed people and the other is for right-handed people. So make sure when you're ordering that you order the right one that you actually need. Now I'm going to be demonstrating using this board using a right-handed unit, but I'm actually left-handed. Now the reason why I'm using a right-handed board and I'm left-handed is because I don't want my hand to get in the way demonstrating, because you won't see exactly what the unit's doing. So I thought it would be best to actually demonstrate it using the right-handed version, using my left hand, so you can see clearly how this unit works. Well, we're good to go. Now you may find that when you're scoring and breaking stained glass, sometimes the magic works and sometimes it doesn't, because there are a couple of influencing factors. Different manufacturers make their glass differently to other manufacturers. So you may find some glass breaks better than others. The other thing I find is that temperature can play a role into how well the glass scores and breaks. I like to have my stained glass at room temperature. I find that works really well and just kind of helps it a little bit more, to be a bit more accurate. And I find room temperature being around about the 20-21 Celsius. So anyway, if you have trouble scoring and breaking a piece of stained glass, you may want to look at the temperature as well, because like I said, that can influence the outcome of how well it scores and breaks. Okay, so I've got my stained glass here. I'm going to cut this in a 2 centimetre strip. So we'll move that down to 2, making sure your actual breaker button is down. If you're not going to use that, then it's always going to be in the down position. But if you decide you're going to be using that, you are going to have to keep an eye on that to make sure it stays down when you are scoring. Okay, we've got that over at the 2 centimetre mark. I'm going to put my scoring head right on the edge there, and I'm going to bring this straight down in one motion. Not pressing hard, but firmly. I'm going to lift the score head up and take that back to the home position. I really don't want to run back over that with the scoring edge. We're going to now move that button up, the breaker button, and we're going to push down where the breaker button is. And there you go. Beautiful. Now, you don't have to, now we have to remember to put that breaker button down. Now, you don't have to use this guide. If you want to continually create 2 centimetre widths or 1 centimetre, you can put it across to there, score, and keep doing that so you get different widths. So let's give that a bit of a whirl. Now, for the most part, I'm going to be using my running pliers because I find that works really well for me. So there you go. Beautiful. Now let's see if we can actually go narrower. I'm going to do, let's take it down to a 5 millimetre width. I don't know how well this is going to work at 5 millimetres, but let's try it. Oops, 5 millimetres is there. Get my running pliers. Beautiful. Really good job. Now, I would like to see how it performs with mirror. So I'm going to get a piece of mirror. I'm sorry about the reflection, but there's not much I can really do about that. Now I've got that set at 10 millimetres, so let's do a score and break with that. Beautiful. And to be honest, I thought it would do a really good job with that anyway. Now let's take this down to 5. Now I won't use this, I'll get that out of the way. And let's take this down to 5 millimetres and see how it scores and breaks. Beautiful. Because I do use a lot of 5mm and 10mm mirror. So that works really well with the stained glass and mirror. But how does it go if we want to cut squares like tiles? I just normally, when I'm doing mine, I just cut them into strips and then get my double-wheel nippers and cut them into sections. But let's say you want accurate tiles. So let's say we're going to do some 10mm by 10mm. Actually, I won't use that at all. Which has got the straightest edge on it. Well, probably that way. Yep, that should be fine. So let's do a 10mm. And 20. And 30. And now we can actually break that, bring that across to there. That's got a bit of a rough edge on it, but that's just due to how the glass was. So we'll take that across to 20 now. 30, 40, 50. Hope you can see this. Okay. So there you go. If you want tiles, it does them really quite easily. And these are 10mm, so these are really quite small. So it's really quite a versatile piece of equipment, and it is an investment. So if you're buying something like this, then it's going to last you for quite some time because it is an investment. Well, I'm really happy with how the Hasal Cam glass scoring unit has performed. And I think it's created some beautiful strips of mirror and also stained glass. I think it's achieved that really well. And if you're looking at a glass scoring unit, that you're looking at buying one, then consider this particular one. It's out in the marketplace now. Now I'm going to also put the links to this unit in the description box of this video on the YouTube channel. So just click on the button that says show more, and then you'll be able to see the links. So anyway, I hope you've taken something away from this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any comments, put them down in the bottom of the comment section of the YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy.